It's been over 10 years, but the Z1000 is finally back, reborn as the Z1100, now with a bigger engine, smarter electronics, and that same aggressive look. But the big question is, with the new CB1000 Hornet shaking up the class, can the Z still hold its crown? The Hornet makes quite a bit more power, around 19 horses more than the Z, thanks to its higher revving engine and a setup that's a bit more focused on the top end. But when it comes to torque, it takes a bit of a hit. It makes about 6 Newton meters less, and you'll need to rev it quite a bit higher to get there. The Hornet does fight back with its lighter weight though. It's 9 kilos lighter than the Z. So in terms of power to weight ratio, the winner's pretty obvious. More power, less weight, the Hornet easily comes out on top. That said, the Z isn't exactly falling behind. For the Z1100, Kawasaki focused more on improving the mid-range, trimming 6 horsepower off the top, but adding 2 Newton meters of torque, and then brought the peak RPM down a bit. So while the Hornet shines up high when you're really revving it out, the Z hits harder where it actually matters for a naked bike, in that low to mid-range zone. Both bikes run inline-4 engines. The Hornet's engine comes from the old 2017 SC77 Fireblade, while the Z1100's motor is based on the previous Gen Z1000, but with a 56cc bump, now sitting at 1099cc instead of 1043cc. That extra capacity comes from a 3mm longer stroke, 59mm up from 56mm, while the 77mm bore stays the same. The longer stroke means a new crankshaft and more rotating mass inside the engine, giving it a punchier feel. So, even though the extra displacement doesn't bring more horsepower, Kawasaki tuned it for stronger torque and a beefier mid-range. As a result, it actually feels quicker on the road, even with slightly less top-end power. They also updated the pistons and swapped the old twin exhaust for a new 421 system that ends in a single, larger silencer on the right side. Both engines use a DOHC setup and have a similar compression ratio. Power goes through a 6-speed box with assisted slipper clutch, and the new Z1100 gets longer 5th and 6th gears, which should keep the revs lower at speed while making full use of that fatter mid-range torque. For the base model Z1100, metallic black gray is the only color option. The SE version, on the other hand, comes in a lighter matte gray with green wheels and gold fork tubes. Meanwhile, Honda offers 3 color choices for the base Hornet: gray, red, and white, while the SP model gets an exclusive black finish with yellow gold wheels and fork tubes. The new Z1100 finally gets a serious upgrade in the electronics department, putting it ahead of the Hornet when it comes to features and rider aids. Both come with ABS, throttle-by-wire, riding modes, a bidirectional quickshifter, and a TFT display with Bluetooth connectivity. But the Z takes it a step further with an IMU, giving it more advanced, lean-sensitive traction control. And on top of that, it also gets electronic cruise control. The Hornet, meanwhile, fights back with adjustable engine brake control. The Z still uses the same perimeter frame from the previous generation, while the Hornet also uses a perimeter aluminum frame. Both bikes share the same forks. 41mm show a separate function big piston with full adjustability, but the rear setups differ. The Z1100 SE runs an Öhlins S46 with preload and rebound adjustment, while the Hornet SP gets an even fancier TTX 36 shock that's fully adjustable. And for brakes, the Z's got Brembo M4s, but the Hornet SP takes it further with premium Stylema calipers. Both bikes run the same front tire, but the Z gets a slightly wider rear. They also have identical 17-liter fuel tanks, though the Z's mid-range focused tuning and longer gearing actually make it a bit more fuel efficient despite its larger engine. Seat height is nearly the same, with the Z just a touch taller, while the Hornet stretches out slightly with its longer wheelbase. Kawasaki also revised the Z's ergonomics. The handlebars are now 22mm wider and 13mm further forward, giving you more room and better leverage. Price-wise though, the Hornet still wins easily, At just $10,999, the Z is nearly 50% more expensive. Both bikes have their strong points. The Z1100 is more commuter-friendly, with its stronger low-end grunt and torque, while the Hornet feels more eager up top, better if you love chasing revs and top speed. For electronics, the pricier Z get cruise control and also IMU, which means lean-sensitive ABS and traction control. Meanwhile, the Hornet fights back with a fully adjustable TEX36 shock and those fancier Brembo-style moss, giving it a more track-focused edge. But when it comes to price, the Hornet wins easily. It's around $5,000 cheaper. So what do you think? Is Kawasaki's upgrade enough to dethrone the Hornet?